We have a choice in Colorado.
The governor takes action.
Either more mask wearing and more attention to social distancing, or more damage to our economy and loss of life.
Amid a spike in cases, Denver7 is taking a 360 look at the governor's new statewide mask order and talking to the people refusing to enforce it or gearing up to take legal action.
This feels like a whole lot of bluster.
And it's not a scam.
Sometimes people are upset about being contacted.
Contact tracers have a job to do to keep Coloradans safe and healthy, but you have to answer your phone.
I mean, we hope that folks have their own health in mind and would want to know the information that they've been exposed to.
It's official. No matter where you go in Colorado, no matter what you believe, whether you think masks work or you don't, you are now required to wear one.
Now, there are some exceptions, and as part of our continued 360 reporting on the subject, let's first break down the governor's statewide mask order that was issued today.
Anyone over the age of 10 must wear a mask for at least the next 30 days, and that includes walking in and out of stores or businesses, and of course, when you're inside. You must wear one on buses, light rail, ride shares, or any car transportation services.
There are some exceptions, which include when sitting and eating in a restaurant. Now, keep in mind, restaurants may ask you to wear a mask until you get to your table or if you get up to use the restroom. Other exceptions, receiving a facial, beard trimming. First responders, religious officials do not have to wear them. Anybody with breathing troubles or those unconscious or incapacitated or unable to remove a face covering on their own. Those who are hearing impaired or communicating with someone who is hearing impaired. And you don't have to wear one when exercising alone or when you're with members of the same household.
I'm hoping that the people of Colorado, that this is a wake-up call for those who might have become a little bit lax.
The governor says data showed about 67% of people still wear a mask without a mandate, but then realized that number jumped to 83% with a mask mandate in place. And no, you won't see me or Shannon wearing a mask on TV. I do keep mine here at all times. Under the governor's executive order, if you're speaking to a televised audience, you are exempt. But if you are caught without a mask, you could face civil or criminal penalties, similar to trespassing, which could be as minor as a ticket or as serious as prison time.
And that order goes into effect at midnight. Weld County Sheriff's Office and the El Paso County Sheriff's Office say they're not going to enforce it. And we know of at least one lawsuit already brewing.
We also heard from Douglas County commissioners who say they will follow the state order despite vocal opposition to masks up to this point. Denver7's Gary Brode continues our 360 reporting tonight with multiple perspectives on what Coloradans think of this mandate.
It's no longer a choice.
I'm glad that we actually have it mandated now.
Now, it's a way of life.
I also feel safer myself wearing it.
I mean, it's really just not that hard. It doesn't infringe on your right whatsoever.
There's, of course, been pushback to the governor's mask mandate. Comments like this one on Denver7's Facebook page. Quote, "I'll be opting out, thank you. Cloth masks made out of an old t-shirt will not stop a virus." Others even more direct, writing, "I will not wear a mask, period." Politicians like Representative Mark Bailey sharing a similar sentiment.
I would find it an appropriate action by a county, and I'd love for it to be my own of Douglas County to step up and say, yeah, we're not going to keep going down this path of autocracy.
While Representative Kyle Mullica stands on the other side of the aisle.
And that's what's so frustrating is it's so preventable and so easy, yet it's being politicized.
But according to a Pew Research study, nearly 2/3 of Americans say they already wear a mask all or most of the time. And major retailers like Walmart, Sam's Club, and King Soopers are requiring their shoppers to wear masks.
Oh, I did some jumping jacks. I was like, hey, about time, Governor. This is awesome.
Lake Street Tavern also makes their customers wear masks, but not all comply.
We had a guy come in with 2 women, and he went to go to use the restroom, didn't put his mask on. Then he goes to the front door and just stands there with no mask on. We're like, you need to leave.
Enforcing for an owner may be easy.
My first question, how is this going to be enforced?
But for a governor, that's a different question.
The gist of what I take away from this is there's no law enforcement role to play here.
District Attorney George Brockler sees no legal ramifications in the mandate.
A public health order that comes from either a local or county public health department or CDPHE carries the force of criminal law if it's violated. The governor's executive order by itself doesn't.
Gary Brode, Denver7.
And if we miss your perspective on the statewide order, let's hear it. You can email us 360@thedenverchannel.com.
Governor Polis is also hitting the pause on issuing new variances for counties and cities in the next 2 weeks. The governor says data shows if we continue at the current increasing rate of cases, the state ICU capacity could be exceeded by September. So a look at the numbers for you tonight. There are 389 hospital beds in use tonight, and another 571 cases were reported today. That brings the state total to nearly 39,000 cases.
And state leaders and medical experts believe contact tracing is key to our rebound. Problem is, people aren't answering the phone calls, nor do they want to answer questions.
Denver7's Addie Guajardo shows us how contact tracing works and why you're going to want to pick up the phone when you get a call from the health department the next time.
Hi, Jane. This is Melanie. I'm a nurse with Jefferson County Public Health.
It's a phone call many fear.
A recent exposure that you had with someone who had COVID-19.
But it could help stop the spread of COVID-19.
We are advising that you stay home for 2 weeks.
And save lives.
We had received 91 cases for case investigation.
That's in 1 day. A surge in COVID-19 cases in Jefferson County makes contact tracing vital.
This is one of the strongest tools that we have.
And as many more people get out, the threat of exposure lingers. And one positive walking case can expose many. Case in point, this long list of outbreaks in Jefferson County, including 20 positive cases at the Colorado Academy Sports Camp. A spokesperson with the Academy confirmed they shut down for 3 days and turned over information to case investigators. Each day, case investigators get a list of positive cases, and each person provides information of every person they were in contact with. On average, for every positive case, they make 10 to 20 calls, never revealing who tested positive. Each call lasts about 10 minutes.
We definitely verify that we are speaking to the correct person. We confirm if they are currently symptomatic. We provide them with either quarantine or isolation recommendations. And then if needed, based on the symptoms, we recommend them to be tested.
But getting someone on the phone is tough.
Maybe half of them.
So before you ignore that call from your health department, you'll want to think twice. It could help save a life.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
Addie Guajardo, Denver7.
Denver Public Schools released further guidance today on reopening of schools. Giving students failing grades is being discouraged. For high schoolers, the district wants teachers to give incomplete grades instead, and that doesn't impact the students' grade point average so much. For elementary schools, no more than 2 classes per day. For secondary schools, no more than 4 classes per day, and only 4 courses per quarter to limit interaction. Also, all meals will be eaten in classrooms. No more community desks. Libraries will be closed, and there won't be any lockers used. Students will have to bring their items to class every day. The district is also looking at requiring daily health screenings for everybody.
And the pandemic could have a long-lasting impact on our country's healthcare system. It's also inspiring a new generation of healthcare professionals. Lauren Heary is a 4th-year student at the University of Colorado School of Medicine, and she, like many students across the nation, found herself in a unique position because of the pandemic. Clinical rotations were canceled because of the risk to students and patients and the need to prioritize personal protective equipment for staff. So she shifted her focus to researching coronavirus.
I got involved with a few projects with the Infectious Disease Division at University Hospital as I was kind of sitting on my hands waiting to get back into the clinical setting. Coronavirus kind of came together with a lot of my interests.
Lauren says the pandemic gave her a renewed appreciation for her chosen field.
Tonight, an investigation continues into how and why a 3-year-old was shot and killed inside a home in Commerce City. Police say they found the boy with a gunshot wound at a home near 80th and Monaco. There were 2 other children inside the home at the time and no adults. It's not clear tonight if criminal charges will be filed.
We're getting a better idea as to where some Denver city councilors see those homeless safe spaces popping up. You may recall Mayor Michael Hancock announced last week he was working with the city to create supervised homeless sites. Well, a survey from Councilwoman Candy Cedevaca's district asked for feedback on potential locations. And some of the suggestions include parking lots at Coors Field and the National Western Center, vacant land in downtown Denver, and public open space, including the Park Hill Golf Course.